Good evening. I want to answer these questions. First question is, my partner is wonderful, loving, patient and kind. An absolute pleasure to be with. For some reason, however, I am inclined to part with them only because I want others to experience the joy of being with this person. What is this? Am I just indifferent or self-depriving? I don't know what this is. I think you should ask yourself this question and sincerely ask yourself whether you are tired of this person, having known this person for long, you began to discover some weakness of this person, or you are tired of this absolute pleasure being with him. In fact, this is very, very personal question. It's very difficult for me to answer this. Okay? We can answer some questions, not all. I recently was reading 2 articles, and when reading them, a thought came from it. If you give up control, you will have kingdom, not money, not more like plant. And have you heard anything like plant and animal? Plant and animal, have you heard anything similar to this? If you give up control, you will have kingdoms. No, I have not heard this. This sounds like biblical statement. Somebody has very strong influence from this teaching. And I must give you a very short answer. No, I have not heard this. I like to see some Dhamma questions. Sorry, I cannot resist one last question. Did I hear you say last night that there were 4 Buddhas in this aeon? Could you elaborate, please? 4 Buddhas I can mention by name. Kakusanda, Konagama, Kassapa, Gotama. These 4. There are two others, Vipassi, Sikhi, there's three others. Vipassi, Sikhi, Vesabu, Kakusanda, Konavima, Kassapa, Gautama, 7 Buddhas. These names we find in Samyutta Nikaya, in Digha Nikaya, Attanatya Sutta, places like this. These all Buddhas attain the same enlightenment. There is no difference whatsoever between these Buddhas. Some Buddhas live longer than others, and some Buddhas are they are what you call shelter for attaining enlightenment, those trees. This Buddha had the Bodhi tree to sit under for attainment of enlightenment. Other Buddhas had some other trees to sit under and attain enlightenment. So these are some superficial differences, but as far as their attainment is concerned, they all are fully enlightened by, and they all realize the Four Noble Truths. The reason why so many Buddhas was when one Buddha lives, teaches Dhamma for certain period of time and pass away, and then their teaching will remain for very long time. And then slowly the teaching gets corrupted, and it blends with various other things. It would be difficult eventually for people to understand what the Buddha's teaching is. Buddha gave a simile in Samyutta Nikaya called Ani Sutta. That means, suppose you have a drum, it is called, Ani means calling drum, summoning drums. To summon people, those days king sent a person with a drum, so to announce some messages. He would send somebody with a drum, he would beat the drum, then people will assemble, and then he will tell, this is the message, some kind of declaration regarding certain things. So in order to gather people, they use the drum, and that drum is called Ani. And after some period, this drum has a little crack. So they put a peg to cover the crack. After some time they find another crack and put another peg. So they, every time it has a crack, they inserted a peg, and eventually all they find are pegs, no drum. Similarly, the Buddha's teaching, people insert little bit of this, little bit of that, from various understanding, various traditions, various disciplines, they insert this and that. Eventually, people don't know what the Dhamma is. So everything is muddled up. And Buddha said in another place, suppose you have gold, and so long as there is no counterfeit gold, fake gold, your gold is real gold. When fake gold comes into the market and mixed together with the pure gold, nobody knows which pure gold is. Similarly, this dispensation of the Buddha slowly mixed up with all kind of things, and nobody knows what the Buddha taught. After every Buddha passed away, this has happened, and Dhamma was so blended with everything else, and nobody knew. And then the time would come that people are so full of suffering, they don't know what to do, how to get out of it. They all are just suffering. No leader, no teacher, no one to tell them what to do. Such a time, a Buddha appears. That means such a time a person appears, and then he, on his own, practice. Sometimes in those times, Pacceka Buddhas appear. Pacceka Buddhas means silent Buddhas. They understand the Dhamma, but they cannot preach because they have not trained themselves previously to teach. Of course, if you have not trained yourself to teach or to preach, you cannot do that. So, that kind of Buddha is called Pacceka Buddha. And another person, independent of this Pacceka Buddha, appears, and he discovers this truth on his own, by his own practice, just like this Gautama Buddha rediscovered the truth, and other previous Buddhas rediscovered and taught, and when their dispensation wears out, disappears, another Buddha appears. This is how those Buddhas appeared in the past. And in future also will be like that. When this dispensation disappears, another Buddha will appear. People even now know his name before even he appears. His name is Mettaya Buddha. In Sanskrit, it's called Maitreya Buddha. Okay, another question. Do you need to experience each of the jhanas before experiencing the upper middle path? You don't have to experience the jhanas, but you need the good concentration of jhanic quality. That means hindrances must be subsided. Hindrances must be subsided in order for you to have a clear state of mind. Hindrances are kind of impediments that they get in your way, and the mind will be cluttered. It will block your vision, understanding, and therefore one has to overcome hindrances. Overcoming hindrances doesn't necessarily mean that you attain jhanas. For instance, there are discourses like Upali Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya. Upali Sutta, when Buddha was teaching Dhamma to Upali, householder, he paid so keen, sharp, deep attention. He slowly developed confidence in the Buddha and paid more attention, and then slowly he became very full of joy, full of happiness. He gained tranquility and mind became free from hindrances. That's called Vinivarana Chitta, Udagga Chitta, Pasanna Chitta, and so forth. At that time he was not in jhana, but hindrance, because his enthusiasm was so strong that hindrances subsided. That kind of disappearance of hindrances is necessary for one to go to the upper middle path. Okay? But if you have attained jhanas, that would be much easier. That would help you to attain supramundane or upper middle path easily. Along with the white light concentration sign, I sometimes notice a dark sign. Can you tell me what this might be and what I need to do with it when it appears? Dark sign is not a sign of concentration. The sign of concentration is a spark of light, and as I mentioned in one of my talks, Buddha, before he attained enlightenment, when he was Bodhisattva, in Anguttara Nikaya there is a report that he had this light, samadhi nimita. When he had this light, when the light was very bright, his awareness and concentration was strong. When it disappeared, his awareness, concentration disappeared. So, in that case, he confirmed rising the bright light. When the light is bright, it is not dark. So it cannot be dark sign. It must be light, bright sign. So that's what he got. And when you attain jhana, before you attain it, this is the sign you get. That is called sign of concentration, samadhi nimita. What you have experienced may not be samadhi nimita, concentration sign. So you have to let go of it and don't focus your attention on that sign anymore. Okay, do Buddhists believe that any types of conception can be good? Any thoughts? Buddhists believe taking birth in higher realms other than human is relatively good, but not better. Human realm is considered to be better. Even when a divine being in divine realms is going to pass away, his colleagues, friends, all gather together and say, make sure that you take birth in human realm. Because human beings have more opportunity to learn and practice Dhamma. However, this is their belief. They are just like when somebody is born, you celebrate the birthday. That has nothing to do with the religion. That's a tradition. Similarly, those deities have this kind of tradition. But according to Buddha's teaching, no matter what conception it is, that is not desirable. Why? Conception means birth, birth means death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief and despair. So no conception considered to be better than another. So, of course, what to do? We will be reborn or we are already born. What we should do, since this is the situation, this is the what you call attitude, that, or this is the truth, so to say, the birth simply means decay, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief and despair, sickness, old age and so forth, definitely come as birthday gifts. So, the best thing we should do, we try to do, is not to wish for many births. Try to curtail, reduce, minimize birth if we cannot attain full enlightenment in this life and end birth forever. That is most unlikely for most of us. Therefore, at least lay the foundation of reducing birth. That is attain stream entry. The stream entry is, as I mentioned today, is the most desirable thing. So, to answer your question very briefly, once again I must say, your question is, do Buddhists believe that any types of conception can be good? Relatively speaking, if we are born in a very good situation with all our senses are in good condition, we are healthy, we have wisdom, we have a situation where we can learn Dhamma and find a place to meditate, and we find a good environment, good friends and so forth. With all these things, if a situation where all these things are available, conception in that situation, in that area is relatively good, better. But conception in general, in the highest sense, is not desirable at all. Please discuss Kuan-Yin. Kuan-Yin. Okay, Kuan-Yin, the female aspect of Buddha. Kuan-Yin is considered to be a Chinese Mahayana Bodhisattva. I have not done much studies on this, but generally in Mahayana tradition, Kuan-Yin is considered to be very, very compassionate Bodhisattva. That is why Kuan-Yin is a very soft, gentle person. So that is why they make Kuan-Yin's figure, statue or picture in a female form. Softness, gentleness and compassion, to express these qualities. I don't know whether every female is compassionate and so forth, but but assuming they are soft in their words and assuming they are gentle in their approach, in their life, and therefore Kuan-Yin is made of female figure, like a female. And Kuan-Yin, however, actually is considered to be very compassionate bodhisattva. Oh, you all are very compassionate today. Last day you wrote very few questions, and I can say take more rest. Okay, here is another question. If one can attain the realm of the devas, why then would one choose to attain Nibbana, the end of existence, over the realm of devas? Unless the devas experience suffering in various phases as well, is the realm of the devas also impermanent? Sure. The devas' realms is impermanent. They too have suffering, not as gross suffering as we have, but their suffering is that when they know that they are going to pass away, they will be very, very sad, because they live in divine realms in enjoying pleasure. Experiencing pleasure, which they are going to lose when they die, therefore they have suffering of the thought of death. So, your question, if one can attain the realm of devas, why then one would choose to attain to Nibbana? Because divine realms, no matter how good it is, how exalted that state is, how much peace pleasure they experience, still that is in samsara. Whatever is in samsara is subject to suffering. And therefore, even divine beings like to attain Nibbana, to end their samsaric suffering. In Buddhist belief or teaching, divine beings are not permanent beings. Even they are impermanent. Even they have suffering. Even they die. And even they will also be recycled as human beings. So they want to get out of this recycling and recycle. Okay? That is why the Buddha said he would not praise samsaric existence, no matter how pleasurable it is, even for a fraction of a second. He would not praise samsaric existence, the divine or even Brahma existence. Brahma existence among devas, among divine beings, Brahmas are considered to be the highest. They are in the highest heaven. Even that Brahmas, one day after maybe eons and eons of living in peace, will come to an end and come down to human realms, and if they don't use it mindfully, correctly, can go even down to lower realms. Okay.